Culture comes to you compliments Hubbards and Grenada Paper Products, manufacturers of Royal, Horizon and Quick and Easy paper towels and napkins.
Food Fair is giving away $20,000 in prizes when you shop in store or online with the Shop and Win Christmas promotion. Shop and automatically qualify to win hams, turkeys, wines, small appliances, vouchers, gift cards, and much more through exciting games like Find the Misplaced Items and Weekly Winners. Promotion runs from November 15th, 2021 to December 24th, 2021. Food Fair Shop and Win promotion is brought to you in part by Hubbard's Appliance Department on the Coronage, Hubbard's Agency on Karani James Boulevard, and the Food Fair Supermarket. Visit our Facebook page at the Food Fair GD to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Voyager, your favorite home goods store. Visit us today at our upstairs branch for the best variety in curtains, bedside lamps, Christmas decor, throw pillows, blankets, bathroom sets, and so much more. Downstairs, you'll find all your home good items at the best prices. We hope to see you soon.
Thinking of what the perfect gift will be this Christmas? Gift yourself or a loved one with a mattress from Dean's this Christmas. Get 10% off on all size and make of mattresses. Find the perfect mattress for your sleeping pattern, whether firm or soft. We have the quality and prices to suit everyone's needs. Make the right choice this Christmas by calling 440-3240 or WhatsApp 419-9036. Season's greetings from the management and staff at Dean's Mattress, where quality is never compromised.
Raise it high up the ladder, let we set it on fire. Higher, give it some fire. A little more calypso, forget the funk and the disco. Higher, give it some fire. A little more limbo, a little more shango. Higher, give it some fire. 20 degrees.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Oui Culture. Yes, indeed. It's another Friday evening, and actually it's the first Friday in December. Yeah, the final month of the year, and folks, we're going to have a good time as always. Of course, let me welcome the team. Doc is here, Scully is here. Reece is not here yet, but she will be with us shortly. So, fellas, good night. How is the push?
Well, we did. Everything is good. Everything is good. It's coming up to the close of the year, so that's a nice time to close up for next year and to start a new one, hopefully fresh with more optimism. And I believe there's a lot of optimism in here, so we're good to go. Yeah. Just want to say hello to all the other, of course, to my other co-hosts there, Scholar, and hopefully Reece join us soon. And to all the listeners, good night, people.
Yes, indeed. Finley, what happened? Why are you looking cargo? So what happened to you tonight?
I find a cool taking me by.
Why you go in the water so that you come out to work out? Or you take out your shoe and walk on the wall?
But I really don't know what's going ahead, but I find whole day I find my nose burning me and things. So I say, look at that. Ironically, I go and we deal with that tonight. And look what happened. You see, we're tempting the fates by. But I'm there. Good night to all our listeners, all our viewers, all our Facebook contributors, YouTube, and otherwise. We are here, and as Doc said, we are winding down. We are winding down an eventful year, and quite an eventful year too of Oui Culture. As Oui Culture continues to mature and grow stronger and better, we are winding down, and I think tonight we are dealing with something topical. Something topical. You can rely on Oui Culture for that. So let's go. I hope that our co-hostess, Sister Reece Sam, could join us shortly. I mean, I don't know, some funny things.
Not Mr. Reece Sam.
Yeah. No, I say sister.
Okay.
Sister, yeah. I don't know if some funny thing does happen to this guy. I mean, to this fella. I don't understand.
Yeah, no, serious.
Nobody with that fella.
But you see, Doc, I listen to Scholar Day, and boy, you know, our culture is such a wonderful thing because we have our way with words and actions. I mean, imagine we on the program talking about the end of the year and about the cool, and the man start talking about winding down, you know, a typical calypso, you know, he talking about winding. Why?
But you know, this end, you know, the ending of the year usually have a lot of whining to it. Well, wine, not whining, but wine. Somebody or that word is very synonymous with Christmas more than probably any other time. Carnival is probably rum. But Christmas is wine.
Christmas is wine and dine.
But I find Carnival is more wine and grind.
Goddfrey, what you interpreting is the corrupt version. But me and Scholar thinking is the more cultured version.
What are they talking about? Is that we culture, no? Are you talking about we culture? You talking about? He talking about colonialism. We doesn't make wine yet.
No,
yeah, man.
Right. Pulling up all this kind of thing, but and them can in them people on them wine book. Them not wine.
No, you squeeze some golden apple juice in that cup and you pour something strong in it, and you call that wine.
The wine book, they're not wine.
And mind you, it's good for the cold, you know.
Yeah, well, very much.
Not wine, Goddfrey, not wine. Wine too weak for the cold. You have to have something stronger than that.
Yeah?
Like what?
So you would drink wine for the cold, Kita, Scholar?
If I would drink wine for the cold, I don't drinking wine.
No, well, you have to drink Rivers, or class cold, but you have to take something stronger, with maybe some lime and some honey. You can't drink wine. You just want, if you drink wine, you want to make an excuse to drink your alcohol.
Yeah, Goddfrey come last day that wine not now.
Why not for that? Listen, hold on. You talk about golden apple and this kind of thing, and you know, they were referring to, you know, vitamin C and alcohol, you know. All you start right now. What Doc gone? Doc, listen with Doc gone. When Doc talking, the Doc thinking about things like Red Label and Ruby Reach and this kind of thing. You know, I talking about golden apple and this kind of thing.
By time the thing ferment, all the vitamin C gone.
Yeah. Anyway, fellas. Again, good night to our viewers on GBN Television, our listeners on K105 FM, our Facebook fans. It's such a pleasure to have you, and of course, those on our YouTube channel, and also on the We Culture Grenada Facebook page. We're always happy to have you, and we're looking forward to hearing from you this evening. Fellas, we're talking about the coal, and you know there's a lot of myths around the coal, because and you could probably classify that. You have head coal, you have chest coal, you got a coal in your hand, you got a coal in your foot, you got a coal in your back, you got a coal. I mean, almost any part of your body could have a coal. Scholar, Shantima people have plenty coal. Explain that to us.
But before I explain, I want to start off like Doc. And I want to give some flowers. You know, Doc will give flowers.
Yes.
So I think Doc and I give him flowers.
Well, I have somebody to go right there.
Remember, I mean, when we had to break for Olympics and so on, we never really got a chance to congratulate Kirani. And I'm sorry that Reece is not here, because Reece would have liked that. You know, that we're giving flowers to Kirani. I mean, what he did in the Olympics was, I mean, astounding. The whole set, first, second, third, especially this bronze medal coming on the back of all of the issues that he had faced and so on.
Yes.
So that to me was one of his greatest gold medals, and we never got a chance really to congratulate
his best performance.
So yes, I think so. So I'm doing it now. But at the same time, I want to also say to those people who select the Olympic team, right? Yeah, every 4 years or so we select our Olympic team. And I've noticed that we go to Olympics almost every time now with swimmers. And I am putting here on the table that going to Olympics with swimmers is a waste of time. We have to stop that. We must not go to Olympics with swimmers because our swimmers would not come anything. They will not place. I could guarantee you that. That is not going to happen. Right? And we have to stop that. We have to stop putting them children on them through all of this thing. Now, let me tell you why that. I sit down and watching swimming in Olympics. And I see them swimmers come out with a track suit, their socks, their shoe. They come by the pool, they take out their shoe, they take out their socks, they take out their thing, and heaving out in pool. Now, culturally, Gradients don't do that.
Nah, you have to cool out.
You must pull out your foot before you jump in the water. So imagine we have our swimmers, and our swimmers will more be thinking about if they jump in the water, they are
go take them.
Go take them. Now, they have to pattern swimming in a different way as far as I'm concerned. Let them people come out and give, let's say, about an hour for the swimmers to pull their foot and watch and see grader making but the way they have this thing, it's biased against us.
You're walking in favor.
And shoes and jumping pool. We don't do that. And so at the back of the children's mind, they're thinking by either going to pulling pool and taking me, they can swim good. And so the Olympic people, they have to stop that.
No, in addition to that,
stop sending people, or the Olympic people stop that and give the swimmers an hour to cool out the foot.
Yeah, you see, in addition to that, when they start thinking about this cold they might catch, they thinking, well, their mother, their grandmother, they to nine them, because you have to get some weeks or kind of thing to nine them down to make sure that everything right.
Precisely. So by, I don't know, you see, culturally, white people can do this easily. They do that all the time, and that suits them. But honestly, because I do it as well, I will be honest with you. I don't know, and you might want to take me up on that. I don't know. But if I come out and I take out socks and shoes, and I say I'm going to be, I'll be nose starting to burn me, cold and take me. Yeah, I must pull out my food, Goddfrey. I just pull out my food for 2 hours. 2 hours at least. I had to pull out. If I pull out my food for 1 hour, and let's say 45 minutes, who will they give me?
Doc, answer that man, please. Because if I'm going to
well, I wanted to respond to Scholar. But again, Scholar, Goddfrey just permit me a distraction for 1 minute. Because I think it is always good what Scholar just did, giving flowers. We need to give flowers, guys. We need to all the time. And for me, I really want to do that with something that came to mind. Now, our culture is all-encompassing, our way of life. It's not just about the drum and the dance and the salaka and the shango and everything. It's more than that. And somebody that comes to mind is somebody like Sandra Ferguson. Now, Sandra Ferguson probably doesn't fall in most person's mind or image into that domain. But she, to me, has been someone that has been the forefront. Whether it's traditional culture, whether it's community development, whether it's about the constitution, or just our fundamental human rights. So Sandra Ferguson has been a real stalwart in putting herself outside it consistently for the last maybe, for the last 25 years, just outside it, giving out herself for the greater good of Grenada. So I just want to send all the flowers I can to Ms. Sandra Ferguson, and to all persons that meeting her, please give her the full respect deserving of somebody that is an iconic figure in Grenada in terms of her character, in terms of the things she has done and contributed to the Grenadian society. So in case she may not hear the program, somebody please say, Sandra Ferguson, you are totally admired and respected. Coming to Scholar now.
Hold on, before you come to me. You know, Sandra Ferguson was a long distance runner as well.
Yes, yes, 1500. Yes.
I was not aware of
yes,
that.
15, 800. Yes, she was.
Used to run marathon.
Yes, she was.
One thing she used to do when she done marathon, she used to take out she stacks and she and go and beat.
And let me tell you something. One thing about Sandra, how she starts, so she finish. She ain't slowing down and she ain't speeding up. Right through.
One pace.
Used to run, man.
Huh?
But Sandra's supposed to be a long distance runner now. I never knew of her like that, but she's supposed to. Since she was a little girl in police and abusing her parents. So during the guerrilla era, they had a really tough time. Where I think they pulled out her uncle or father of hers from a transport and give him a serious beating. So, I mean, I think learning to run was, I guess that come naturally, like some of the athletes from Tivoli. So anyway, that is good. I'll come into Scholar Goddfrey. We did not really introduce the topic tonight. So I think you should do that and I would refer to Scholar.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the myths of catching cold.
Right.
I mean, because we have, I sort of captioned it in a couple of ways, but fair enough.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think Scholar said the 2 hours Scholar. You need to cool out your food for 2 hours.
What?
No wonder why you're always late to function.
No, no, I ain't talking about when I get up in the morning. So when I come out in my function, I take off my shoes and my socks. I have to wait 2 hours before I bed.
But Goddfrey, that one is extremely scientific. I mean, can I say 1 hour 45 minutes?
No, but let me tell you something. I mean, I never knew of a specific time. But I knew you have to cool out. You can't say, well, you come and when you to the veranda, you take out your shot. You can't do that. You can't expose yourself to the wind. You have to go inside. You sit down and you have to wait for your body to cool down, and then you change your clothes, and then when the body cool down, then you could go and bathe. Otherwise, cold taking you.
But Scholar made an observation, and I think this is just unique to us as black people, because seriously, that does not apply to white people.
Because they're living in snow. They are accustomed with cold.
But Goddfrey is not just cool down, also. Yeah. But Scholar, I think from what I've picked up, when people catch cold like that, it generally doesn't last for long, right?
I don't know.
Why even hold on.
Use your own experience.
But hold on. When people catch cold, how it doesn't last for long?
No, when you just come out from somewhere, you pick up your clothes and you catch it cold. Those persons that catch cold like that, the cold usually does not last long on them.
But I know that's not true. If you catch cold like that, you're good chronic. You don't know that? You good chronic. Watch.
Well,
and them kind of cold, he staying on you forever, you know. From small, all you turn old woman, that cold live with you, you know. Just because you take out your shoes and you go in water, or you go and stand up in front of the fridge or something like that, you can't do that.
Let me address this one regard for say chronic. I believe some people that are involved, like, if they want to draw holes, or you're doing that kind of work on a continuous basis and you're always going to the water. You see, later on you could feel the effect of that. But you just taking on clothes and go and bathe. Usually the cold lasts, to the best of my knowledge, for a very short time. So for a matter of fact, you say you dry, what you get the draft, we put a draft, something like that.
So you just get draft?
Well,
I'm not draft.
They're not draft, man.
As a matter of fact, we need to find out, especially from callers and contributors, what is draft and what is cold, what is the difference? Because it seems to have a difference when you catch a draft as opposed to when you have cold.
Yeah, draft. I find draft is when you're sleeping.
Draft is when you're sleeping?
Yeah, for example, okay, let me explain it. So, for example, if you
effect on your nose, where your nose black out for a while, that's what I think.
That drop?
It is a shot.
Man,
not a full
no,
cold.
draft it. Let me tell you, draft. If you, let me try and explain it. If you lie down sleeping, and let's say you have like a crack in the window, you have a little hole in it, you're in a boathouse and you have a little hole, and wind come through there and blow you when you sleeping, you get in a draft. That's a draft.
It's not draft.
But the draft is like your nose. It just you just have experience in this problem in breathing. Little cold might come out, but it's not a full-fledged cold, Goddfrey. Let us be educated by the
Doc, this kind of cold, this kind of, I tell you, this kind of cold is chronic you. You don't know, for example, watch, you know it's Malkadi? If you, let me tell you something. If you catch this kind of bad cold on them, especially head cold,
yeah,
Malkadi taking you know.
Malkadi is when you fall in and things.
Well, but this kind of bad head cold showing you down, you get Malkadi?
Because draft is a thing, draft turning pneumonia.
Yes, you coughing, yeah. When you get draft and dig, you check, when you cough, it's like, it's like you have music in your throat, like some big bass drumming. Yeah, that's serious thing.
I honestly think you're taking that draft thing to fire.
No, man. My draft is a serious thing.
You're taking that draft thing to
No, my draft is a... Listen, all I don't understand, that kind of cold on them. They doesn't have fresh cold in your nose, you know. This kind of cold on them is all kind of swelling and all your body hurting you and all kind of thing, and the pain don't go in you.
Draft got free? When you get draft? Well,
it depends on where you get the draft. You're not going to get cold on. So you're not going to get draft in your eye.
You getting draft in your eye?
You could get draft in your eye. Watch, let me tell you. If, for example, if you, the same hole I tell you about, if you house about like a hole and wind coming through it, if, for example, you get up in the night and you look out and that a cold breeze blow through, you get that draft in your eye. Boy, don't doubt me, boy. Don't watch. Listen, don't doubt me now. I see somebody on Facebook tell me they know I grew up with old people.
Yeah. You get a draft in your eye.
You could get a draft in your eye, scholar.
Goddfrey, take the break, we'll come back.
Alright, let me take the break, folks, and we'll come back and we're going to settle this drafting once and for all. Don't go away. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Raise it high up the ladder. Let we set it on fire.
Food Fair is giving away $20,000 in prizes when you shop in store or online with the Shop and Win Christmas promotion. Shop and automatically qualify to win hams, turkeys, wines, small appliances, vouchers, gift cards, and much more through exciting games like Find the Misplaced Items and Weekly Winners. Promotion runs from November 15th, 2021 to December 24th, 2021. Food Fair Shop and Win promotion is brought to you in part by Hubbard's Appliance Department on the Coronage, Hubbard's Agency on Karani James Boulevard, and the Food Fair Supermarket. Visit our Facebook page at the Food Fair GD to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now. We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
Raise it high up the ladder. Let we set it on fire. A little more calypso. Forget the funk and the disco. A little more limbo. A little more shango. Find the greasy pole. And we don't dance from the maple.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. And all you look, Reece. No, man. Reece, no, man. You taking advantage on that now, man.
You see, have a little road. You see, have a little road on the left hand chest there and turning up.
No, man. You taking advantage on that, man. You have to stop that.
You know what? The problem with y'all is that y'all just refuse to learn. Y'all refuse to learn. When all you look to on your left on the evenings, are you see happiness? Lord, if you want happiness.
No, man. No, that's it.
Do I look sad?
It's called the right duck looking at you get your draft. So you're fine. I feel duck get your draft. Duck, no man. Hey.
Between me and you, guys are next way to catching draft.
Yeah, draft. What is it?
What you see?
Yeah, let me tell you. Now, are you telling me just now how I'm taking this draft thing too far? Draft could knock you down and kill you. Hold on. Anyway, Reece, we're happy to have you. We're glad you got away. You know, and everything nice. But I want us to go to the Facebook page. Well, talk to your people and then let's go to the Facebook page.
Yes. So good evening, folks. You know, I had put out a plea on the Facebook chat, you know, telling our viewers to protest because the ladies in this forum here wasn't letting me in. And it seems like, you know, like Scholar sends the thing and he make the phone call and he walk out thing quick. You know, Scholar is very resourceful. But just want to say good evening to everyone. I'm happy to be here. We're talking about things that mothers know a lot about.
Yes, what?
Mothers, yeah, and grandmothers. So, you know, let's just move on.
Yeah. But I want us to go to the page.
The Facebook?
Yeah. We have some comments.
We're going to bypass all the good night and the good evening. Anthony Derrick is saying to keep the culture alive. Carl Thompson is saying, I think the person is well suited for a rum shop session. I concur. And that is where a lot of intelligence has come out, because drunk men tell no lie. Alistair is saying, good night, it's wine and jam and Xmas time. We have Ingrid is saying, Goddfrey, that's not how you make wine with golden apple. You have to put it to set with yeast, and after that, it's very strong wine. Okay, Goddfrey?
Cool.
She's also saying, Paula, let us be warm. Maybe I missed that. Warm water. Right. Tessa is saying,
she's talking about that.
Oh, okay. Ingrid is saying that's why Scholar gets a cold. And then Tessa is saying draft is the early morning. Is the early morning one when you open the window if you're just awake. Harriet is saying, Mr. Augustine, you grew up with old people I could identify. Ingrid is saying, how long Scholar used to take a shower when he was in England? I would like to know. Scholar, yes, we would like to know also because we know We know for years he was be postponed. Right. Kenny saying when sleeping and somebody open the door on you, you get a draft like that. Let's see again. We have Tessa saying, I was Goddfrey on this one. The eyes does get puffy. Selena is saying the person that put a curse on Goddfrey, they dead already. Lord. Godfrey's boy, you see? Eulin is saying, yes, Goddfrey, you're right about that, you know. Boy, that thing crippling, man, we. Gloria is saying, yes, Godfrey, all these things happened long ago, but I'm not hearing about them anymore. I wonder why. Is it because of climate change? Jennifer is saying, I believe draft happens when cooler air blowing from outside causes a sudden drop in one's body temperature, causing chills and negative effects on the respiratory tract. Jennifer, you must be a mother. Anyway, Selena is saying, Reece, I'm loving the glow with the grand entrance. Oh, thank you, Selena. Ingrid is saying, Reece, that's jealous. They're jealous of you. Yes, and they're jealous of Doc too.
Wait, never.
Yes, Gavin is saying, hello, good night, We Culture season greetings. The cold is real. Jennifer is saying, okay, Tessa is saying that, you know, what Jennifer said is a good scientific explanation. She's right. And Eulin is saying, I'm saying as granny among you refusing to learn. Right. So that's what I'm seeing on Facebook. I'm going to go on to the YouTube in a bit, so later we can talk about what we see there.
All right. So all your Scholar and Doc.
Yeah?
All you agree now that you could get draft in your eye?
No.
Was somebody just say that? Tessa just tell us that. She say she agree with me on that. Your eyes getting puffy, but your eyes get swollen and haunting you.
Puffy eyes, but that doesn't mean you get draft in your eyes.
Well, how you mean you get draft in your eye?
But next thing, Goddfrey, we didn't think. Not just about that. No, sometimes when you take up your shoes, you come up from somewhere and for some persons you step on tiles. Somehow you have tiles. Some people have to step on tiles or you step in the bathroom without a slipper or shoe. That's it. Starting to cough. So it's not just taking off your clothes, but taking off your shoes and stepping on the tile too soon, or sometimes stepping on the dirt on the outside, or wet mud. But sometimes you're slipping and you come out on the bed and on the ground is wet. And that do it.
I'll give you an example of draft that to me is draft. And based on what Jennifer is saying, I'm fully with Jennifer. I used to go to Fantasia, and you're partying hard inside Fantasia. As soon as you come outside, chills, you're losing your voice. I used to be hoarse every 3 o'clock. Every time you come to Fantasia, you're hoarse.
You get a draft.
You catch a draft. It's not cold. You don't end up with cold. You might end up with a little sniffles, but it's short-lived.
But you see, no, but you have to, no, but you see.
Consistency, short-lived.
No,
Doc,
no.
Anything you say, you're saying yes. So I'm out of your daddy.
And draft can trigger off asthma attacks. And you can get that. It doesn't have to be early in the morning, late in the evening. It's just a change in the temperatures. As far as I'm concerned. Yes, a sudden change. So, yeah, and it really truly affects the respiratory tract.
So let me ask Scholar a question. But just before, Scholar, let me just read a comment, because I think it's a reference to what you opened with. Someone said, when we swimmers come from the water, they're supposed to rub them down with coconut oil and camphor. So yeah.
I agree.
Fair enough. So my question is, if all they're saying about this change in temperature, why when rain come in and little children go down play in water, they doesn't get draft and they ain't getting cool?
How they don't get draft?
Little children come out to school. Let me tell you how little children. Let me tell you how little children operate. They come out to school, whole day they sweaty, running all about the place, and if for any watch, they're looking for the drain where you have water and they walking in the drain with their shoe in their foot.
Godfrey?
Yeah.
Now we have to be careful every time we speak out loud about children. No, children don't have time for that.
They don't have time to get draft. They don't have time to get draft.
No. Unless you are draining computer with a tablet. Children don't have time for this thing. You mad or?
But for the children.
We know this, Goddfrey. And you know that as children when we go to school, we have a permanent draft, you know. We don't always have
Fresh goal.
We have permanent draft.
Fresh goal always running come the
Yeah. And that is because maybe what we see them say, we in and out of this thing, barring water with the drop, get you coal or whatever, so we have permanent coal. Right?
Yeah.
But the difference between coal and draft is what we see.
Well, for me, the difference is that the draft, to me, it's short-lived, and the reaction that you have is almost instantaneous. When it comes to the cold, it has what you call like an incubation period. You might have to go back and track where is it that you picked this up, who you might have been in contact with. It shows up a little later than that of a draft. I heard you all talking earlier about the difference between black people and white people when it comes to these things. I remember when I lived in Canada and Aliyah was a baby. I used to watch white people with their babies, no socks, no hat, a diaper vest on for the most, and they would be walking around with the children, rain falling, and they have the children. I'd be like, we don't do that in Grenada. Our children have to be in blankets and
not, you know. Well, it's not. Hold on, it's not. We don't do that, you know. We can do that. You them children, them children stretching your hand. Them children stretching your hand. Give us, you know.
Listen, I started to do like the Romans because I was living in Rome. So I started to do the same thing. Yes, and I would bring her to the park where she's running around with and the sprinklers on and the water cold as ever, and everybody's having fun. She running around too, nothing happened to her. So I was convinced that this thing about rain does cause you to catch cold is a myth.
Well,
you see that?
Never.
You see rain does cause you to catch cold in Canada.
Okay.
But rain causes you to catch cold in Grenada. Canada and Grenada are different. Why you believe? You know that I say one thing Grenada and free.
Because of the cold.
Why will you refer to it? Not because we refer to what, you know?
Cold refer to it.
Those Grenadians are them that afraid of rain.
Let me tell you.
They're not jabs. Jabs don't afraid of rain.
Let me tell you something. If I like a drizzle fall on you, forget that.
Well, as a matter of fact, Goddfrey, I just say that. During the height of the COVID, I had a niece, and she said that she did the quick test, and they said she had COVID because she had some symptoms and so on. But she told me straight out, she embarrassed them because she knew what happened to her. She was walking from Victoria go up to up by the school up there, the secondary school, and all the rain drizzle. So she knows that. But rain drizzle, she don't have no phone, and especially for women, if you like a rain drizzle your head.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, men different. I mean, look, that don't have no ears, like very good drizzle.
Yeah, but no, but scholar, that's a serious thing. If rain drizzle that could get a head cold. Now, mind you, let me tell you, we have to classify the cold, you know. I tell you, you have cold that doesn't cause your nose to run. That is a real bad cold. That is the cold that is chronic you. You never tell when something happened to you and your mother thing and she tell you catch a bad cold. That is not that bad cold you catch is not fresh cold and coughing and sneezing. You know. It's chronic, you know. Cold. That is cold that chronic in you. You know.
Pneumonia.
What do you?
Yeah, pneumonia.
That you so rain.
Watch it, scholar. I've never heard that expression in my life.
Which?
She say The rain drizzle. What is that?
It's not the rain.
Listen, so what I know from my neck of the woods, some drizzle fall on you.
The rain
That one is authentic. That one is authentic.
And mind you, with all of that, because we have people giving like a scientific explanation, mind you, scientifically speaking, we are not drizzling right there. No. Drizzling is a special kind of precipitation. You know? But as far as we're concerned, if the rain coming down, little bit, they are drizzle as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
And that does cause bad cold. Yeah. So I think, for example, when you have, and I was talking about the cold that could chronic you. When you, depending on what you do, you could get that cold in different parts of your body. Now, for example, you might see a little old man probably walking and he walking on like a bend. It's a bad cold he catch you. Yes, it's a bad cold he catch.
But Goddfrey, you say that and it sounds like a joke, but there's some seriousness to it.
No, I'm telling you, there is people that's the explanation.
Can be traced. Usually, it's because those chronic cold, those serious ones, can be traced to lifestyle. So, example, they will say somebody cooking or working, and you always stay in some fire, and then you sometimes you cooking, and then somebody they working in a restaurant. Cooking and then you also selling drinks. Usually there might be a time when your hand develop arthritis, so your hand, you may say you have cold in your hand. The same thing with somebody drawing coals or doing something like that. Or there's also those guys that are walking on the road with the tar, and you come out from work and then from there you just go and bathe. That could give you some serious cold, again, some head cold. One time I remember talking to Miss Helena. And she said she has some bad cold in her leg. She cannot move her legs.
Right.
And she attributed that to the fact that all the days she used to go and walk in the estate and she had boots. Mm-hmm. And she walking with the boots whole day. And when she come out from work, she take on the boots and she might go and bathe. So over a period of time. So those usually chronic cold develop because of lifestyle. You know how people used to live before, things they used to do before. And it basically traceable to those styles that you.
Well, from all I say, Doc, I see no lifestyle later. That chronic cold she get because she take out the boots and she go in water. She was that.
But no, man, there was a job. She was working on the, remember? She was working on the estate, so you had the boots on.
Huh? So she can't pull out she foot?
Well, I find.
She has to ask me and pull out she foot?
Yeah, you pull out. You have to make sure you clothes and then you go and bed. You can't take out your clothes.
No,
Don't take out you can't take out your clothes in the wind.
No, that is in hindsight. You're talking about now after years, but people doing that and that sometimes it just comes from you had the boots in your foot for so long you just take it out and sometimes you walk on the ground. Some people had boots and there were no socks. So when you take off the boot, there was no socks, no slippers. So from the boots onto the ground. And I think that's what happens sometimes.
So what about when Reece?
Let
me ask you. So what about when woman press their hair? Anybody doesn't mind to press their hair?
Yeah. I've never pressed.
You press your hair
I know
about that. But if woman press the hair, they can't let you rain drizzle them. It's another thing, you know. If you iron, you can go you have bathe before you iron.
Yes.
Or you have to cool out, as Carla say, for at least an hour. And nobody 2 hours thing, but at least an hour.
And let me tell you something.
And same with the hair. Even when those guys, those people, both men and women, have long hair. You know, if you wet your hair and you don't dry it properly. Then that's
you have to dry that head cold. That is head cold. No, also, there are people.
Hold on, Reece,
leave him.
No, I'm just making that. Oh gosh, so. I died. Go ahead.
Moderator for the program a while ago. What you going to tell the moderator for the program just now?
Oh.
Anyways.
Why? Because people in Guavas catch cold easy?
No, we don't. But I wanted to bring up about, maybe the draft thing is even more serious than we know, because I remember growing up, you would hear about whenever a woman would have just had a baby, she had to spend like about 8 days before she could bathe.
Mm-hmm.
And if that did not happen, you would pick up like some kind of bad cold. And I want to believe that had a lot to do with the outside bathrooms. The outside bathrooms and bathing in water that is of a temperature that is much cooler than the body temperature. Because when a woman just had a baby, from the time you have the baby, your body is going through a healing process. And when healing is happening, there are certain temperatures that your body would be in, the state of it, it's like an injured body healing again. So I want to believe that this drafting is really serious, because today, when women have children, you go to bed after.
Yeah.
You go to bed after, because you're bathing inside and you're bathing in warm water. The water matches the temperature of your body. So really and truly, that scientific explanation that Jennifer gave is really a fact, and draft is really, really serious, because out of that, what a woman would have gotten is what you call a bad cold. So I guess draft could really bring on bad cold, whether it's, pneumonia, bronchitis, rheumatic, whatever, I don't know. But there's all these long names that of cold that seemed to be very dangerous. That you can come with because of a draft.
Also, I don't know if you guys remember what's called, because of that same thing and the same draft thing long ago. If your parent, your mother, your father to go in town, you had to get a bus early in the morning to go down. You had to get one of them buses that live in country all early to go down. They bathing in the night for in the morning, because they will not get up early morning and go in this cold water. So in the night, they bathe and they get up in the morning, they put on their clothes and tongue. Because they don't want to get you cold.
We are not of people who are we do not just get up and go in the bathroom. We don't do that.
No.
Even now,
I think no scholar is happening more because a lot of people have warm water now. There's a lot more persons that have invested in warm water. So it's not so bad. And some people that have to go to work early, that need to catch a bus 6 to 6:30. For a lot of them, they have no choice but to bathe before they go to work.
So even if you have warm water, as you get up, sleeping, you just go in the bathroom?
You think that
I do that.
School,
Yeah.
I think that school is not as prevalent now as before.
You see them bad?
They don't feel cold.
A lot of people do that right now. A lot of people walk like that. You have slippers and people bathe with the bath with the. Some people have all slippers, some people just bathe with the slippers, and that will affect them. Some people get up, and as they get up, the first thing you go to the bath, get rushed to go to the bath, and then organize and go to work.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's
warm water.
Let's take our last break, and when we come back, we're going to engage our callers because the phone is going. So stay with us, folks. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Fair is giving away $20,000 in prizes when you shop in store or online with the Shop and Win Christmas promotion. Shop and automatically qualify to win hams, turkeys, wines, small appliances, vouchers, gift cards, and much more through exciting games like Find the Misplaced Items and Weekly Winners. Promotion runs from November 15th, 2021 to December 24th, 2021. Food Fair Shop and Win promotion is brought to you in part by Hubbard's Appliance Department on the Coronage, Hubbard's Agency on Karani James Boulevard, and the Food Fair Supermarket. Visit our Facebook page at the Food Fair GD to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Get message from the Grenada Red Cross and the Ministry of Health.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Raise it high up the ladder. Let we set it on fire. A little more calypso. Forget the funk and the disco. A little more limbo. A little more shango.
Welcome back. It's We Culture, and we're talking about some of the myths of catching the cold. Yeah, bad cold, draft, head cold, waist cold, back cold, cold in your knee, all kind of thing. We have a lot of statements and comments on Facebook, Reece. Let's take a few of them. Then I have a couple on the WhatsApp platform, and then we'll take some telephone calls.
Okay, so Tessa is saying, you're always pulling up your nose too and scratching your ears from your throat. That's when you catch a draft. Jennifer saying, in nursing school, we were taught to close any open windows to prevent the draft blowing over our patients or when bathing babies. We have Jennifer again saying, with children outside, they adjust to the temperature because they're already outside. There is no drastic change. Spice Girl is saying, is the little drizzle that cause you to get a cold. Tessa is also saying it's not any kind of rain, it's a drizzle. Okay. So I guess when I play carnival and the rain pour down, there's no cold for me there.
No, it's a drizzle.
Drizzle. Yes. Let's see again. We have Ingrid is saying, whatever Goddfrey you were explaining, that is not cold, it is sinus. Colin is saying Caribbean people are conditioned by our forefathers regarding colds. Most of them are myth, but in some constant exposure to the elements can cause illness. Ingrid is also saying sinus is when your nose not running, but always pulling your nose and throat. Jennifer is also saying, I'm a scholar, Reece, in the food industry, they drizzle desserts with chocolate syrup, etc. So scholar is right. He says, rain drizzler. I love it a lot. Jose saying good evening, GRLS, and that's girls, okay? AKA 3 versus 1. Great topic as usual. Cold and draft is different. Cold lasts long term, but draft is a day or two usually. A chill with a grumpy throat and maybe a runny nose. Cynthia said, oh yes, you have to let your feet cool off. Tessa, long time in harvest, you couldn't be walking in the bar, then go in the kitchen frying chicken. But it's still that way.
Yeah, that's bad cold. You can cold in your hand.
Yes, Georgie Bennett is saying, good night, guys. Very nice conversation. Miss Sam tells caller, hold our thoughts about the cold. We'll make up a song on that. I will put in enough guitar on that track. And just to add my 2 cents, a cold is a virus in the air. Thanks very much for a great program. Spice Girl is saying, when you have a baby, no bath for 8 days. Yeah, that was so we made it know. Jose is saying for the panel, what about when you drink hot tea or a hot soup and your nose running? Sometimes you have to blow your nose. So would you consider it to be a draft from the hot stuff you consumed? Good question. Yulin is saying, when we, the ladies, press we hair, we cannot let rain wet us. Granny saying that is bad cold. Alistair is saying, I heard my mother say a man ironed a handkerchief and went to a funeral. Hold on. In St. Andrew was the big old wooden buses in the days. And in the end, he got sick by catching a drop. It was a cool breeze that was blowing on him. Tessa says, scholar old people say is not no, they go feel it is when they get older. Gloria is saying, I always wonder about the homeless. How often do they get sick? There is a guy begging at the exit of Spiceland Mall daily in sun and rain. He's strong boy. I admire the four of you. You know a lot about every topic chosen, especially this one. Thank you. Jose said, in the diaspora, most houses are carpeted or have heaters in their bathroom because in the winter, the autumn seems to be more cold, sometimes freezing, and the carpeting, is to avoid walking on the cold floor or tiles, which can cause you to catch a draft, especially in the winter. So that's why we have carpets there. Okay. Monica is saying, Alistair from ironing a handkerchief. Oh, well, yeah, we want to know that. Did that old man that went to the funeral catch a draft from sitting outside, sitting in a bus that is kind of open air, and having a warm handkerchief? An iron handkerchief.
Don't just have one handkerchief iron it.
And just put enough heat in your body.
I'm gonna tell you something about a cold again, but I'm gonna say a lie, so I ain't telling all you. Anyway,
What?
Tim, go ahead.
No, all you just get with me, man. All you just say.
No.
All you just get with me.
I believe you already.
So, you know people who catch cold in their teeth?
In the tea?
Yeah. No, what's I talking about when you're drinking hot thing? So, you know, if you drink hot tea and then you go and drink cold water, or if you eat a hot soup, you drink a hot soup and you go and drink cold water after that, you get a cold in your teeth. You see? Scar, I have to stop that. I know that. So, why do you think your teeth season forever? And then after you start to crack up. That cold. Hot and cold. Hot. Anyway, let me I have some comments on WhatsApp. Yeah. All you know thing, you know. All you live with old people. Goddfrey, tell Doc and them you could catch a draft in your eyes. Your eyes are full of kakaje and it is closed down. To this day, I still believe in catching them kind of cold on them. A lot of the time, I believe it's mind over matter. Pour me. Someone says, good night, Goddfrey. I got a draft or pneumonia or cold after I had a baby in hospital, which was overcrowded. They sent me home, rain wet me for about 15 minutes while I was going home. The same day, my mother boiled all bush she could find, bathed me in the hottest water I could stand, gave me a cup of hot coffee with lard to drink, covered me with 2 sheets where I sweated. The cold left me after the sweat. That's what I did for COVID. Yes, man. Yeah. Someone says draft and cold usually befall those who don't bathe often. That's a partner from some way who does always give us talk. I know who it is.
The dog.
Yeah, the dog, with dog partner. Yeah, it's what you do. Right, so yeah, I think that's about it for the that's about it for the WhatsApp comments. All right. So yeah, just before we go to the telephone, I mean, we talk a lot about, unless maybe folks, guys, we could leave that for next program. So we could go to the telephone. I was thinking about talking about how you treat somebody's bad cold on them.
We have to think about how we get cold. You have a lot of ways still not got to really exhaust that. We
do exhaust that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's go to the telephone because it's been going. Oui Culture. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. Hello, caller.
Goddfrey.
Yes, good evening. Go ahead.
Good night, Goddfrey.
Yes, go ahead.
Good night, Goddfrey.
Yes, caller. Go ahead. We're hearing you.
Let me tell you. 3 of you all day. You, You Scholar and my friend Livingston, all your cleaning all your head. The hair is to make your head warm, so all you must get cold in all your head. Number 2, when a woman make a child, her pores in her body is open. So any little drizzle, she will get the cold. She will get the cold, right? Another thing is when you come out and do a task, and according your body is heated. Remember, your body temperature is heated than outside. So when you pull off your clothes, that is when you get a draft. Now, what my mother used to tell me, whenever you come out, you even have to walk a distance, bathe with all the clothes on you. So the heat now of your body and the coldness of the water temperature is outside, it will help you that you wouldn't get a cold, right? Or you wouldn't get a draft. Draft is not only when you go on cold ground. You could just take out your shoes and go on the hot ground, and you're getting draft too. So there's a lot of ways which people get draft and cold don't only come because you get wet. Sometimes you inhale something that is not accepted to your body, and you start to sneeze until you get a cold. So there's a lot of ways. And Goddfrey, I tell you, sometimes I want to call, but the talking is so much that sometimes I doesn't get through. I have a lot of topics.
Thank you very much.
Give you a little explanation.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Yeah, all the best. Right, Scholar, here is a quick one. Someone says if you fall asleep and the moon shine in your eye, you can catch a cold in your eye.
Forgot with your twin brother?
What, Mike?
Daddy man, daddy dog man?
No, there's a
the dog man, Mike.
No, daddy dog man. That's the dog man. The dog man not from Grey. Dog man live in some place where some area code is 660. That is somewhere. Yeah, that overseas. Right. So the number, folks, 435-2041. You can give us a call and you can share with us, maybe your little experience. If you get a draft or I saw someone was asking to define. I think is it Jose Reece asking to define cold, flu, and draft?
Yeah, I think so.
Goddfrey, when you wait for a call, some holidays children used to pee in bed a lot. Mm-hmm. And as much as possible, parents used to try to get them not to continue sleeping on your wet bed. Because sleeping on a wet pee bed can actually get you cold.
But pee hot? When you pee hot?
But after a while, it gets cold. But
I remember, it's in Macintosh too. In Macintosh.
Yeah, that one. And you could sleep in and you're sleeping by a window. And you see rain flying through the window and wet you, then you have a problem.
Very bad cold.
So again, you could get a bad cold by just sleeping, and if just a light drizzle just wet you while you are sleeping, that could create a cold.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to the telephone. Oui Culture, good evening.
Hey, Goddfrey, good night.
Good night.
Yes, Goddfrey talking about cold when people put on boots in their foot and they go in garden. How people just get cold in their foot? Yes, I remember when my mother used to be going in the field to work, and she used to wear boots and socks. So when she comes, she does have to take it out and take out the socks and shake it and thing, and then she cannot put her foot on the ground because around that time the boots was full of water, So the boots now have to stay for days for it to dry. For she to get it to go back to go to work, because you have to have more than one shoe. And in days to come, she started to complain with the foot. That is how she does get it. You're having the bad knee cold and all your ankle hurting you. Because, you have to put your foot on the ground when you outside dry in the yard. And that is how people used to get us bad cold in the foot. With the tall boots, with the water whole day. The time you cutlass in the garden, you cutlass in all around the place, and rain wet you. So it was wet. So a lot of people have come down with the cold later on in life. They have rheumatism, you know. So this is what people used to get in those early years to make the day work to mine us, to send us to school. And a lot of people know that. Men and all know that. Because they used to wear the boots, the tall boots.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Thanks a lot indeed. Yeah. No, the whole thing about later on in life. So it seems as if what we call rheumatism. That is a bad Nicole.
Rheumatism and arthritis. Anything. Godfrey, let me tell you how we are so different from. I don't see them and watch football. And them guys are them playing like now, so you know outside too. In them place and a man's going to go and taking out the jersey. I don't watch that. Me for myself afraid. And then they're doing this thing with ease. Right? For when the football, after they come out and beat up themselves, they sweat. When the football done, they man taking out the jersey and gear next man. Next man taking it out and gear next. I watching this thing and say bye.
You watch it and you afraid you catch a goal.
I afraid. Because I know if that happening great, I score.
Bad goal. Bad goal.
It kind of place and
No. Okay. Let's go back to the telephone. Oui Culture, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, caller.
Yes. Three matters. Now, there is a coal, long ago they used to call it pleurisy. I don't know if the panel could help me to understand what is pleurisy. A caller could call in and explain what is pleurisy. There is an old-fashioned caller to call it. The second thing is, there was a young man. He was going to the presentation college. He came home hot. And he frequented the fridge, opening the fridge and getting ice water and whatnot. And he died a couple of weeks after. And the third thing, now, the science is telling you that you get a cold from a viral infection. No. I have a question mark on that. Tonight, I could induce a cold onto my body by going and bathe from head to toe without drying my skin, open all the windows in my room, and put on the fan. And I guarantee, whether my immune system is strong or weak, I guarantee in the morning I have a cold. So that question of viral infection, that had to come into your body to give you a cold. I have a question mark on that. I could give myself a cold tonight if I want to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. But a very interesting comment. But let me just throw in that. What if the virus is already there, but requires the right condition to start to get on?
I think that is what is really happening.
Yeah.
I think the virus, it is always there in the atmosphere, or maybe in you. But your body is such that it's able to fight it. But when your immune system is so compromised, then the virus can take over until your body are able again to fight it. That's the simplest explanation I can give.
Yeah. He also asked about pleurisy. I just checked it on Mayo Clinic, and what they're saying here, it is a condition in which the pleura, and that's the two large thin layers of tissue that separate the lungs from the chest wall. When it becomes inflamed, it's called pleuritis. So it causes a sharp chest pain, and that gets worse while you're breathing. So caller, from the Mayo Clinic, and that's a site that is very credible. This is what they're saying pleurisy is. All right. Let's go back to the telephone. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello. Good evening, caller.
Hello?
Yes, can you turn the volume of... Listen, you need to listen to us on your telephone. Turn your radio, the volume of your radio down and listen to us on your telephone.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Go ahead. All right. Callers, when you call, kindly turn down the volume of your radio and listen to us on your telephone. If you don't, there's going to be a delay and it will confuse you. All right. So remember that. When you call, just turn the volume of your radio down and listen to us on your telephone. Let's get back to the telephone. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, caller. Go ahead.
Something wrong. Either my phone getting
you hearing me? Are you hearing me now?
I just hearing you.
Okay, right. Go ahead.
The phone catch a cold, why? Yeah, I feel the phone catch a cold. Yeah, Goddfrey. You know, like, long time when we hear old people battling, their foot hot in them, their shoulder hot in them, rain coming, rain about to come. But I used to laugh, boy, what I chew. Now you there, your foot hot in you, as the rain start to fall. All foot pain gone, you know. All cold, river cold, oven cold, all this all cold, and them people bad, you know. And them cold don't coming out, that time stay permanent. And if you resistance low again, you always catching cold quick. And if you don't take care of the cold does turn. It turns to pneumonia, asthma, all this kind of thing on them. So you have to take care of the cold. Anyway, good night. I just wake up and I just join the program. I'm going back and sleep.
All right, okay, Susan. All right. Someone is saying, good evening, everyone. Wonderful topic with information and entertainment. The thing is, there are some older people who can tell when it will fall. That's when rain will fall. They will feel it in their body, especially the knees. That's a wonder. Stay blessed all. All right. Let's go back to the telephone again. Oui Culture, good evening.
Hello, Goddfrey.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Are you alright?
Yeah, man.
I kind of cold in the wall already. I catch a cold one time. When I blow my nose, the cold rotten, you know. The cold, it smell rotten. That's 20 years now, you know. I catch a cold again. I have cough for 3 weeks. Coughing dry, cough straight. Without weep, you know, just cough straight. Yeah. Once I open my fridge, me head off me for 3 weeks. All my body thing cold. So that time I when I go in the fridge, I must have clothes on me. Yeah, but the bad one was the one they could call it rotten. Right? Since 1984, I come, you know. After I go to the doctor and they give some tablets and they must melt here. I mean, those are taking water. I hear Reece say when you know that running is sinus. Most sinus people are sinus, they know that run, you know. Yeah.
All right. Yes. Oh, thank you, caller. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have heard that kind of phrase about the cold stay on your chest and you run down your chest. And
yeah.
Indeed. Okay. But you see, I was making the point earlier that this kind of cold, and I think Susan made a reference to it. It stay in your body, you ain't leaving you. And that's when you have all the, at different times, you get all kind of pain and, something juking you there, something juking you here. It's bad cold. You catch something you do and you catch a bad cold.
Chuck does our songs, I want my grandfather back there. You know, he had that in his song, he said, Grandpa catch so much hot and cold. So in the night, if you hear the old man groan, I try to tie up all the boat. So hot and cold. After a time, arthritis tie up. And some people swear that this is what causes arthritis. I'm sure the science agrees with that. But sometimes the science don't know better than us.
No, but on a serious note, and let me just bring in a little bit of geography here. Now, if let's say you have a rock, when it's exposed to constant heat and cold, they say in geography exfoliation takes place. Now, could that same thing be happening with our bones? Heat and cold, heat and cold, heat and cold, and then problems that arise later on. I mean, I wonder about it.
But one of the things I find strange is that people that have serious arthritis, they would tell you that rain is coming.
Yeah.
You know it is coming. And I wonder how we explain, I don't know if maybe somebody like that, Dr. Guido myself, or I don't know if a doctor can explain that, but I think that is beyond doctors. I mean, most doctors.
Like when the rain set up the knee hot to them?
Yeah, what? How do they know? And when the rain start to fall now, then the body became it come back to normal.
But
how do you know? Because when you're really setting up, is it because of the cooler?
But the question is, don't they knee hot them even when rain is falling?
Huh?
But they need us hot them when rain is coming?
No, but generally when it's coming, once it's set up, not just the rain coming, and once the rain set up,
that many times.
It hurts them. And that is one. And next thing that again we must take into consideration, a lot of persons that have certain ailments, the doctors in Canada or United States would tell them like it would be best if you go into the tropics. Back to Grenada, come back to Grenada, go to the ocean. And I don't know, but the ocean seems to be a place that just helps cure so much ailment, including muscles, including cold. Somebody or they just bring out all these mucus that seem to be large inside of you. Whether you had it cold or not, once you go and bathe on the beach, it seems to bring on something. So I don't know the whole thing about the arthritis, but I wish somebody might be able to shed some light on that. Why when rain set up, then you feel all this.
I mean, I have done some work in that area, and the explanation. I mean, science have debunked it. I mean, they have, and the explanation is simply. But when it's not raining or raining set up, your knee still hurt you.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's the same thing.
No. The point, no. Understand what I'm saying. You asking how do they know? And I'm just saying that science has debunked it because the argument is even if. So, in other words, if in fact it is because rain set up that your knee hurting you, then how do you explain the hurting of your knee when rain and set up?
I think it's just further triggered.
Well,
the intensity of it is different and all that. It's not to say that your knee does not hurt you outside of the weather, but there are times when your knee does not hurt you at all too. So
well, that's exactly the point.
Yeah, times if you put hot on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being high, maybe normally your knee might hurt you 5. Yeah. But once you see the rain go fall, you're going up to an 8 or 9. So you know, and mind you, it's not when rain is set up. It's not just when rain is set up. Because outside it's normal. And once that knee starts to hurt, you know, rain will fall. Yeah. And it's true to say, the rain just going and set you up and it falling.
Yeah. But then the other argument, and these are people who have cold in the knee.
In the knee, the legs, and the hand, Goddfrey.
But what about those who have the cold in the knee and the hand and rain set up and you're not in them?
Nah, man.
No, you mean no, man. No. I'm just let me tell you, I'm just being devil's advocate here. I'm just sort of pushing the science a little bit. But Reece, let's take some Facebook calls, some Facebook comments, because I think the time started to creep up on us.
Yeah, so we have Anne Matthew wants to know, and Tessa also, if Doc will be selling watermelon tomorrow, please God, since last week they were both waiting on him. And I know Scholar waiting on the change too. So,
I give up on that change,
Spice Girl wanted to know what kind of iron the man had used. I guess I'm cold, Peter. And Cynthia said we were always told you don't drink cold after hot. Ingrid, that's real about the homeless. Look, so many people died from COVID, and those people still around. They don't get sick at all. Anne Matthew is saying, I want to know. Oh no, that's Tessa and Doc and the watermelon. Hudson George is saying, in the 1800s and up to the latter part of the 1900s, tuberculosis was as common as COVID-19. People were exposed to tuberculosis, and when members of a family died from the disease, their house was burned to the ground to kill the virus. Wow. That sounds drastic, right? Maria is saying the old man ironed. Emphasis is on ironed, not on the handkerchief. Long ago, people were not supposed to iron and go outside. Okay. Jose says, define cold, flu, and draft. So, right, I'm just reading that comment, Goddfrey. Colin is saying, inhaling and getting the cold, that's new. That's a new one to me. Colin, boy, I sleep in my pea bed and I never get a cold. Hudson saying, caller, the word was not proceed. It was called pressing. Children used to catch pressing. Jose, I remember visiting Trinidad and I went dip in the Chummy River, one of the coolest river, where there were deers. Okay, river. I became sick and was roasted with fever and was given a good dose of hot bushes with 2 tablets, and in 3 days I was good. Otessa is saying, Hudson George, I heard this growing up too, pressing. I always wondered what was pressing. They used to tell us we could catch pressing. Jennifer is saying, change in environmental pressure triggers the joint pains. So there you go, Goddfrey. Yes, arthritis doesn't go away and it tends to occur in later life. Gloria Lambert is saying, it just dawned on me. Thanks, team. As a school child, when it rained, I loved wearing my dog muzzle, which I was teased about to walk in all drains, but now I have real knee problems. Ingrid, so we just diagnosed Gloria there. Ingrid is saying, it is a bad pole on one chest. That's what old people call it. But the medical term is ashamed. Jose is saying, when I was a baby, I was told I had pneumonia, cold, and couldn't breathe. They had to keep sending me up in the air a couple of times, but didn't make a difference. And there was a lady saw I wasn't breathing and took me and put her mouth over my nose and pulled out the coal. And what have me here today? Thanks. He's saying that is what have him here today, the lady pulling out the coal. Thanks to that great person who didn't look. I think that woman must be from Guam. Anyways, person saying lack of synovial fluid in the joints, damaged tendons and ligaments usually lead to arthritis. Jose is saying we need to start talking remedies, local and medical. And I went across to the Oui Culture page and we had some contributions earlier. Valencia is saying, yes, when you're sleeping and the cold breeze blow you by someone opening a window or door, that is how you catch draft. Tom is saying, good night, Reece. Tells caller when he go to the bathroom, he must wear slippers because he could draw a cold.
Yes.
And Abina Vincent is saying, old people would say women should cover the chest and back when evening come. So halter back and navel breaker, and we say navel breaker, or a no-no. And yes, I remember those things growing up as well. So those are the contributions that I've seen. On the YouTube, it's just one person really saying good night. That's kind of free.
Right. Let me just take a couple here. Someone says, Goddfrey, good night. Whenever you have them kind of cold and you get a shock, it draws out some of the cold. A shock, yeah. I guess electric shock. I find I hear something like that before, you know. No, serious. I find I hear something so before, you know. I ain't sure, but I find I hear something like that before. Someone says the issue of arthritis pain and the weather has to do with the barometric pressure and its effect on the body. The hurting of the knee when rain is about to come is a real thing. The feeling is more like a throb or a lance or like a pinprick in the knee. Friends, my life. Right. Friends, my life is heavily influenced by senior citizens. I grew up in a crowded extended family. I thank you for my usual Friday evening soap. I come like those soap opera freaks. If I have to leave home on a Friday, I'm always wondering if I'll be able to return before or after We Culture. I really enjoy participating and listening to other people's life experiences. Thank you very much, caller. We're very happy to hear that. Anything else? Yeah, I think that's it for the WhatsApp comments. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I was just thinking that we are talking about coal and how people catch coal, etc. But I'm wondering what exactly is applicable. Not sure, that to all of us and maybe to the listeners for the next maybe 15 or so minutes. What is applicable today? Do we still catch coal scholars still catching coal if you don't take 2 hours to cool off? Are we still catching coal because our hair is big and we bathe and we didn't wait? Are we still catching coal or drop if the window is open? Are we still getting that today? I mean, is this what we're talking about? What was in the past? Is it still present? And finally, for the people with watermelon, I only have a small quantity, so go early and get your watermelon and cantaloupe.
Hey, I'm charging you for advertising,
Yeah,
okay, what? I'm charging you for advertising here. We got advertising.
Let me answer your question. Let me answer part of your question. Not the watermelon part. It's like the first piece. Alright? But before I answer that, they say person, cat are person.
Cat?
Cat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they say cat does do a kind of thing. No, they say cat could give you pressing. No, it could give you pressing.
Cat could give you pressing.
Yes, cat could give you pressing.
Cat does cough.
Yeah, but it could give you, when you inhale the dander, the cat for, you could get pressing from that.
Cat are pressing. But Doc, let me say this, right? And the fact is that when COVID came, we were surprised, really, that a lot of people were surprised that those were the things you had to do so that this virus thing can take you. That wash your hand and all this kind of thing. We never had this kind of thing in our concept, right? It's COVID that bring this thing now, you wash your hands, sanitize, and don't put your hand in your face, and so on. But we never had those things in our concept that those.
We never had it so down pat.
No, that those were the things that were causing flu and virus and so on. We believe somehow that this thing was inside us, and when conditions are right, like your water and your rain usually receive. That is stir up action and thinking, and I believe that even up to today, a lot of those things are still with us. People still believe in them. Maybe not as heavily as they would have. I mean, Reece just explained that women now can make children and bathe and so on. Yeah. But you would be surprised that there are still women who believe that.
And they need to wait.
No, it's true. Yeah, no, they do. Mm-hmm.
And they act accordingly. You see, I believe sometimes a lot of the thing has to do with your mind, and because I know a guy, very good friend of mine. If he comes out when he comes out, and he don't just take out his shoes and thing and bathe, if he cool up, he say he gets in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
He gets in the cold. He must just take out his shoes and just go and bathe, and he's okay. While me now, I feel it's the opposite. I don't know if it's polar catch or if it's mind cold, because it's really mind cold too. I don't know if it's good cold or if it's mind cold, but I believe that,
But Scanner, have you ever used it as slippers instead of just go to your bathroom with the slippers?
Well, the honest truth is, No.
Maybe you should try it and see the difference.
But Doc, I don't understand. Going with the slippers, what difference would it make? Because if we're talking about that difference in temperature,
Yes, Goddfrey.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but if you have the slippers, when the water wet you, that difference in temperature anyway.
Goddfrey, if you live in a house,
so the tile cold and the water.
One thing, and you want the tile is extremely cold, and when you put your foot on it, you feel the immediate difference and the coldness.
Tile of cement.
Tiles, yeah.
And 5 millimeters hot me on every that right.
Well, you have to that, it's tile, but I always have slippers on tile. But I mean, in terms of going and bathe. Well, Goddfrey, and the truth is that I don't have to put slippers because I'm pulling out the food for me 2 hours. So I don't need come and tie me up with the thing.
So hold on. Scholar, let me ask you. Scholar, let me ask you something. So you're catching cold if your foot touch the ground. What if you take out your clothes in the wind?
Well, that way bad cold to yourself. You can't go to you should be there. Especially if you come out hot and sweat, you come out and just
you're going to take out your clothes.
And your grandmother and your mother and they will tell you don't open yourself out to the wind. Because in truth and in fact, they believe that the wind is even more dangerous. Than
the wind blowing. Yes, that's true. That's true.
You know, if we contrast that, what we just said, I think what we are doing, we have created a kind of sterile community. That you must do this and do that in order for us not to catch the cold. Let us go to the extreme. Now, when you look at the vagrants, somebody mentioned that. And I was talking about that recently as it relates to COVID. Look at the vagrants. And I can bet that not one of those vagrants would come down with COVID. Simply because they are so overexposed that the body develops a level of immunity. I mean, you ever see a vagrant seriously coming down with a cold or chikungunya when he had or anything?
But nobody doesn't bother with vagrant, so even if they have it, you don't know it. Nobody doesn't bother. People don't make a joke with vagrant, you don't realize that.
People look at the vagrants and them seriously. Imagine you taking a night and you sleeping. I have seen vagrants sleeping on almost wet concrete. Heavy rainfall, water's flying through where they're sleeping. And they wake up next morning, they go about, they beg who they have to beg and they continue their life. Nothing. You try that. They develop immunity, and that's a fact.
Let me say this. You know when gastroenteritis and them pass it, when this thing and them bad, and they say you have to boil water and the children and them. The children you boiling water for them, they get gastro. They get gastro. Boil water and they play the more and dorsal about it. You get you gastro.
Exactly.
Because they don't have the gastro, them is gastro. They can't get gastro.
But another thing, and Doc, you had asked the question if some of these things exist, and I believe they exist because I think there are a lot of factors. For example, long time, some of the houses we had then, things are different now. Most people had a wall house, so you know cracking the board for wind to blow you and for you to catch draft and this kind of thing, and them people are AC and then getting cold. You're AC, you're sleeping with AC and you're getting cold. Unless that cold is for later on in life. So when you get it,
sleep with fan, and those that so then when you sleep with fan, some people tell you they can't sleep with fan because if you sleep with fan, immediately the nostrils get blocked up.
Mash up.
So guys, let's see if we could get a two quick calls again before we wrap. We Culture, good evening.
Hey, good evening, how are you doing?
Good.
I don't like when you draw Peter coals, right? When you're drawing coals, right? And you're in that heat, right? You're in that heat for the whole time and you don't cool out good and you go and bathe. You know, listen, that could actually kill you, know. You know that? Goddfrey?
Yes.
And, okay,
apart from that, you talk about the vegan. What you go say was mind over matter, because I see vegan. I mean drinking dirty water from drill and thing, And it's like, as you say, you never see them. Like sick. Or to the, you or going to the doctor or sick or lie down sick, thing. But let me just say something. Let me just say something. People, do we believe that? Do we honestly believe that everything could be demonstrated in a scientific lab or in a science lab? Do we really? I just really want to know if we really, if we really think or believe that everything, right? Everything could be really demonstrated in a tangible way in a science lab. Do we?
I don't think so.
No color.
Well, exactly. So if that is not possible, then there's a lot of things that cannot be explained in a logical, scientific way. Yeah? Good. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, caller. Thank you very much indeed. 435-2041. We have time for a few more calls. Let's get them in. We Culture, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to know if other noise is connected to coal. I just throwing out that anybody could approach it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
What is adenoid?
I think it's adenoids. All right. Let's go back to the telephone. We Culture, good evening. Hello.
I'm Livingston, make me call back. Livingston, my body full of cold, and anytime I go in AC, all my body hurting me. I can't go in grind, I can pay me bill and stand up for long. When I come out, my whole body hurting me. Once I go inside an AC place, so AC, I find like the AC just raise the cold in your body. Because you work in the hot sun and you go in an AC place. Because remember, sun does real hot, eh? When you go in that AC place, hot and sweaty, like you catching a draft, real draft. So for me, the AC real bad. And Susan looking for some green can. If I have color, she don't bother the phone.
Like that. Just arthritis killing Susan there, man.
Yeah, bad, cool. Bad, cool.
The entire body's riddled with it.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the telephone. We Culture, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I remember years ago, I came from work. That time I used to work up to midday. I came from work and I took out my clothes. I was in the room and there was some louver's window, and I got the wind blowed on me. And to be honest with you, I was sick. I got a cold, and so when I grew up, they always say be careful about that. And I always, when I come, I have a slipper on the step to come inside the house. When I go into the bathroom, I have another slipper. Because if I ever put my foot down on that tiles, I get a cold. But my wife put down her foot, she come walk on the tiles, and nothing happens to her. So this cold thing, I guess probably different people, it affects them differently. Have a good night.
Thank you, caller.
We don't say if they are old food and you have good food. If when you eat things and it's making you go to the toilet, they say you're old belly, man.
Yeah.
Eat the same thing and nothing happens to you. You have good, strong belly.
And when you are cold, when you are cold and going, you have a whole goal.
Yeah.
and sometimes we describe them when an old person tells they have a knee.
Yeah, it's cold, you know.
Yeah. They have a knee.
The old knee.
It's a cold that care about, you know. They say here that time, you had a visiting pastor come out in America. Come on, when he called for the altar call by. people come up to get prayed. Our old lady come and she tell the pastor that she have a knee, you know. The old white pastor don't know what she have a knee. What you have to pray there for? She have a knee.
Is it cold? Is it cold? Is it cold? Is it cold? Is it the old cold? The old cold. Let's go back. We Culture, good evening.
Yes, hello, good night.
Yes, good night.
Yeah, this coal and them know the bad coal. They call it lining coal. Just like when you pick up the coals, when you draw coals, you cannot go in the center of the pit to pick up no coals. You have to stay on the side and pick it up, because if you pick up the coals in the center of the pit and you go and bed, you will catch a bad coal. They call it lining coal, and you won't be able to walk. It will cripple you.
Okay,
yeah,
thank
and even the one in the knee, this one is lining coal too. So anytime they would have set up, you're feeling a different pain. The knee go hurt you, but you go feel a different pain. This is lining coal. The one with the water boat is the same lining coal. So that is all the coal we put in when we're young. When we get old, we feel need some. That's why most of the people can't walk. So that's lining coal. That's bad coal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Wow, lining coal.
Yeah.
All right, 435-2041. We have time for 2 quick calls. Let's take these 2 quick ones. We Culture, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
I could remember when I was when I had my son. He had been he was small, so all cold passing, and he can't breathe. I had to take my mouth and take out the cold in his nose to breathe properly. And I can remember when he was pregnant, from them telling us to put it back outside because we could make the child born with cold head, cold back, cold, and that was true. So, all long time saying the same. And right now, my knee was giving me a real problem because when I stand up in the river and go up washing clothes in the middle of the river, that time we wet clothes and us. I'm a bit old, I'm 66 years now, and now I'm feeling it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. So we have time for one final call. Let's see if we can get that final call, and once we get that, then we would wrap for this evening. 435-2041. That's our final call for this evening. Let's see if we have that call here. Well, not yet. So it seems as if that one was our final call. Guys, we out of time. So Reece, let's take the final set of Facebook comments, and then we will, I think I have a few here, and then we'll wrap.
Yeah, so we have, well, I think when I said ashamed earlier, that was just a typo on the author's part, but what she really meant was asthma. Asthma was called pressing. Jose just wanted me to know that the lady was from Sotes and not Guelph. Cynthia is saying old folks used to tell you if the moonlight shine on you when you're sleeping, you can catch a cold. You catch a cold all over. Cynthia is saying, same here, caller, I look forward to Friday nights. Jose Reece, I used to spend time by Featherman on the bay. Yes, and I think it was Featherman, not Featherman, but Featherman, the footballer. He's deceased. Yes. Then we have, let's see, Cynthia is saying, yes, we were told that I think it's asthma. Ingrid is saying, when I was growing up and cat play in your food, and after you eat that food, you will get pressing. That is what old people say. Right. Jose is also saying, yes, he was my friend I hang out with most weekends. Oh, he's talking about Featherman. In Guava, especially when I can't get bus to Sotes. Now, why am I not surprised, Jose, that you would have had difficulties getting bus to go to Sotes, and where you would have been was in Guava? Jose and I have to have a conversation about this. Tessa is saying modern women would take a sponge bath. I guess that's when they have babies. Cynthia is saying yours is old age. Jennifer, scholar has mucus in his nostril after a bath because of irritation caused by the soap or shampoo. You hear that, scholar? They say they were always out there, so they build up immunity, and that's about the vagrants. And you know, while I lived in Canada, I learned that children between the ages of 1 to 5, by the time they're 5 years old, they're supposed to have eaten a pound of dirt. And that is how they get their immunity. Today, children don't have that because we don't want them to play on the ground. They're going to get ringworm. They're gonna get all sorts of things, and we don't want their clothes to get dirty. Yes. Jose is saying Granny used to say, don't take off your clothes or shoes in open air and always cool out before you take a bath. Y'all know about the sapping of the hair? I think I talked about that before. Like when you
must sap your head if you get your bottle of alcohol out of glacial. And you have to sap the head with that.
When you go to bed.
Oh, when you go to bed, yeah.
You water. You have to sap your head to get your body used to the temperature.
Acclimatize.
Yes. So Cynthia is also saying they eat from the garbage, so they are good. That's the vagrant. Hannah is saying, hi Hannah. It does be said that when you come home, never take out your clothes with the fan on, and this is something I strongly hold. Jennifer is saying all this panting is allergies from inhaled particles. Hudson is saying Livingston with globalization, people intermingle with different people and they develop immunity to come to some of old diseases. Nevertheless, new diseases evolve. Remember that venereal diseases did not have a cure until penicillin was invented. Yet still, bedbug is still a problem. In addition, people are not walking barefooted again as they used to do in the past. Maria is saying knee pain is not always from arthritis. Knee pain may be the result of an injury such as a ruptured ligament or torn cartilage. Medical conditions including arthritis, gout, and infections also can cause knee pain. True. Tessa is saying right now I find we have some rain to get later. The food talking.
That's how this dog at.
We see bums all over the pavement in pieces of boxes and covered down in the winter and snow, plus in the summer or fall, and nothing happens to them. Life usual, year go, year come. Well, Jose, I'm still waiting for my arthritis to take me because when I lived in Canada, it didn't have nobody that is hot more than me when I'm going to party. 12 o'clock, I take in the bus or the taxi and I dress in summer clothes. Winter time. Hannah is saying, when you step down, always make sure your slippers is right there so you won't get a draft. There's a lot of truth in that. Cynthia is saying, same like going to your AC vehicle after walking in the hot sun. True. Pressing is asthma. Tessa Barry, Suzanne does roast the corn, then bathe without cooling out. Guys, it's that. Jose said homeless people sleeping on benches in the park, and I never see them going to any doctors or hospital. Well, we probably need to join them. Right? Susan has to be very careful about roasting corn and going to the fridge too.
Actually, yes.
Maria is saying adenoids is an extra piece of flesh in the nostril that prevents the flow of mucus when swollen. Tessa, the men who walk in the asphalt on the road, they can't bathe when they come out from that. They have to cool out for more than 2 hours. Cynthia is saying lots of parents do that nowadays. Maybe it's about the sapping of the head. I don't know. Hannah is saying very much so cold pot does give off real heat. Hudson is saying there are diseases people suffer from in the tropics and those diseases are not effective in cold countries. For example, a cold winter day don't give people common cold. A cold winter day only freeze people's fingers, while damp weather in the tropics can lead to bad cold. Jennifer is saying, I thought lining cold was in the uterus when you bathe before 8 days after giving birth. Oh, interesting. Tessa is saying, great program. Cynthia is saying, thanks as always. I was late, but I caught up. Stay safe. Hannah is saying, good night. Laughing out Naman, I tuned in late. Jose is saying, great program, folks. Now I caught a cold, just had some soup. Hot soup and my nose running. Grenada Sunshine is always so much information is obtained from this program on a Friday night. Continued awesome job, guys. Jose is saying drink lime with seawater. That's the healing for cold. Yeah, and Ingrid is saying when you're bathing, you beat your head with water to take heat out. True. And then there's something that the fishermen say too about not just diving down into the ocean just like that, like head down. I think you have to wet your foot. I don't know.
You have to wet your body first.
Yeah, something like that. Right. So that's it for the comments. Jose, Reece going to party in Canada, can't go to bed. Anyways, yeah. So which one of you girls are giving the final remarks first?
Well, you on the ball already?
No, I'm not a girl. I'm a fella.
Okay, fella.
Well, let me turn it around and take it then.
Yeah.
So great program as usual. Very informative and steeped in cultural practicing and cultural beliefs. How we contract the cool. And I think Jose would have asked a very good question. What is the difference between a cool, a flu, and a draft? Because we have all of these, and then Goddfrey still put some others on the table, like a cranny, and they are drafting your eyes and all this kind of thing.
Calling your teeth.
Calling your teeth. No, calling your teeth or drafting your teeth?
Calling your teeth, boy.
Calling your teeth, right. The good thing is that nobody bother you with that one.
Who tell you that? Yeah, I ain't read them. But it's true.
Good thing you don't read that. I heard also somebody, one of the contributors who spoke about taking a sponge bath. In Grenada, we don't have nothing called sponge bath, which is a fact. So you take a clean up or a wash up.
Wash up.
A Western. You take a Western.
Yeah.
A Western.
You have an next one we don't use, you know. When you wipe up. You
wipe up.
That all that is to help. That could save you from catching cold, you know, because going under the heavy water and letting water wet all your back and things.
That's bad cool.
But just take thing on your wipe up. The delicate areas, then that could save you. But once again, good program, good contributions from the callers, a lot of stories, and then we still have, I don't know how we are going to do this because we have Christmas coming up, and then we still have all these set of cues and so on. And what we could do, you hear somebody say, you sweat out the cold. This is a big thing here that you sweat out cold, you lie down and cover down and sweat out cold. So we still have to go there. So I don't know where you'll be going next, whether you'll be going there or you'll be going...
Or don't go there, or whether you won't go there.
Or you won't there. And we look at Christmas, because I think we have 2 more programs.
Yes.
For the year.
So, Doc?
Let me follow. Yes, you really don't. Let me just start off by saying, well, let me help my brother Rasto Jenga in Canada. Now he's a listener. What is happening is that I believe that when you expose children only to the elements, to Mother Nature, they actually remain stronger. But if they grow up protected, I believe you have to constantly be protecting them from the excesses of Mother Nature. And so the body probably is not as strong as somebody that is grown up, and that is the issue with the migrant. When I say that program makes me feel done tonight, I just, being part of this program I wonder. Well, I want it to be explained about the cool, like when I step on something cool, exactly what is taking place in my body, what is happening. And I want to know that when I go on that sheet, or if I drink rum and honey and lime, what that does to me, what happens to me, what is the cue? Or if I drink a hot soup with pepper, because I feel that draft, so what is really taking place. So Goddfrey, I don't know if we can do that next program or some next year or so, but I believe that we really need to have a part to explain those scientific, the medical part of the program. We're talking about the tradition, what we experience. But to me, there is this desire to have more explanation. What really happening to us when you see your example, when we have arthritis and the weather setup, what is that? What is that all about? What really takes place? And I believe the listeners probably also need to have, what is taking place. So in my mind, I believe we owe to follow up on that program sometime or the other, to bring somebody that is more versed in that topic to help us unfold that the mystery surrounding coal and the traditional way we believe we catch coal in the country. That is my take on it tonight.
All right. So, fella.
Yeah. So, a lot of learning happened tonight, and it was one of those programs. As usual, it's a bit light, but very much in depth, and we had a mixture of the more traditional kind of explanations about how is it that we catch cold, or what a flu, what a draft is about, and we also had more scientific explanations about it as well. And there seemed to be a lot of similarities in it. I would just like to thank people like Maria, Hudson, Cynthia, Jennifer, Tessa, Jose, Gloria, Hannah, quite a number of you who would have contributed quite a lot tonight in terms of, things about cold and all of that. Jose, when you speak about eating hot soup and your nostrils running, I would like to make a connection with the whole steaming when it comes to COVID. People who give you remedies would tell you, even if you cannot do a full steam, inhale hot tea, and that will cause you to bring up mucus. So I want to believe that when you eat hot soup, it causes mucus to flow, and probably mucus in your nasal passage, and maybe it affects your sinus as well. So maybe that is what is happening with you there. But great program. I learned a lot. Friday is the bomb. I don't get to go anywhere anymore on a Friday, but my Fridays are well spent here. And when you find that you're walking the streets, and even the feedback that we get on social media, people saying to you how much they appreciate the program, what it means to them, and how much the viewership is growing, it says that we are really doing something. But I know that we can do more. We can promote this program more. We can promote this program outside of what we are doing every Friday. But that this is on, and like this has become a staple when it comes to nightlife on a Friday night, or radio or television in Grenada and the diaspora. So let us try not to sell ourselves short here, and put in the work to make sure that we push the program and we grow it so that more people are impacted and more people can contribute. So that's my 2 cents, and happening.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I you guys, I learned quite a lot. I teach you all a couple of things I already know too. But nevertheless,
we all learned that already.
He passed it one as I got in the other.
Yeah.
But no, on a serious note, I grew up, I had my grandmother and my grandaunt, living in the same yard, and I've been there, and a lot of these stories, they remain with me. A lot of these things remain with me, and I heard a lot about it. And when we do this program, I think about them a lot, and it brings a lot of joy, and I really enjoy it. Like Reece said, my Friday nights are well spent. I look forward. Today I went to the post office, and I was waiting to be attended to, and I heard a young voice say, program tonight. And I looked, and it was a pretty young lady, nice young lady, and I was surprised, someone so young, and it made me feel really good, and Reece mentioned the fact that there is so much more that could be done. Yes, there's a lot more that could be done, but I also believe that we here, the four of us, I don't think we even understand the scope of this and what it is doing, so yes, we gotta do what we gotta do, and I'm really looking forward to doing a lot more. So thank you guys again. Next week, definitely, we have to look at how we fixing this bad cold on them, you know. And if somebody chronic, if they could come back from that, you know. So I guess we're going to talk about some of these things next week, and then of course the following week, as we get closer to Christmas, we must talk about rum and wine. So Scholar, Reece, before you gave me Scholar was talking about winding down, you know what I mean? So we we must do a thing on that. So thank you again.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
So we thank everyone, our viewers on GBN TV, Facebook, YouTube, K105 FM. We thank you so very much, and we look forward to being back with you next Friday for another We Culture. Thank you very much, and do enjoy your weekend. All the best.